888-866-9131. That's a toll-free call from anywhere. Welcome, everyone. Again, my name is Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. All right, now, you know, the Oscars, I must tell you, I did accidentally see this No Man Land that won for Best Picture. I thought I had seen two of the movies that were nominated, but it was only one, and it was No Man Land. And if you follow me on my other social media platforms this morning, I was talking about this on Instagram Live on my way into the radio station today. But there were two reasons I saw No Man Land, which won for Best Picture. One, it is free on Hulu. Okay, I have Hulu, and it's free. That was one reason. But the main reason I watched it is because I watch a lot of these movies, or these YouTubers, these millennial snowflake YouTubers that are into this van life business, which is basically homelessness. And if you go on YouTube and you type in van life, you'll see just endless numbers of videos of people, mostly young, some of them are older, who live in vans, and they have YouTube channels glorifying homelessness, and it is so strange and so bizarre. And when I was flipping through Hulu, I saw No Man Land. I didn't know what it was about. It looked really boring because Frances McDormand's picture, she looked old and tired and like she hadn't taken a bath in a long time. So I hit the description, and it's about this van life craze. So I watched it for free. And I actually was watching it with my wife, and she left the room. She couldn't bear to watch it. And No Man Land is terminally boring, and it glorifies homelessness, and in fact encourages homelessness, because there's a huge chunk of the movie is about how romantic it is to live in your car or your van. It is not a great movie. It is not an Oscar level film, and on top of that, it's probably not even a film that should have been made. It is so bad. There are terribly long scenes that show Frances McDormand, since she lives in a van, having to relieve herself in a bucket in the van and then disposing of it. It makes no sense whatsoever. But here's the thing. You know, they're calling this the WOKEST Oscars ever. I don't think so. I think, you know, the Oscars themselves are anti-woke. They fight so hard to be woke, which means to come to the realization that everything liberal is the way things should be. If you look, now think about this now. If you think about this, every negative stereotype about every single ethnicity in this country, white, black, Hispanic, even religious, right? Catholic, Protestant Christians, Mormons, whatever the group is, every negative stereotype about every group, we could make a list of groups forever, comes from Hollywood. It's true. And, you know, Hollywood covers a lot of ground. It covers movies and television. It covers really the whole entertainment industry. Movies, television, video games. Yeah. You know, so, and all these negative stereotypes come out of this. Now, here's the question that no one is going to ask today but me, and maybe some people that are listening will pick up on this and act as if they've came up with this on their own. If the Oscars are so woke, if liberalism is true enlightenment, why did it take until the year 2021 to give an Oscar for Best Director to the first Asian female? This was the 93rd? Was it the 93rd Oscars? Oh, man. You're telling me out of 93 directors, they've never had an Asian woman direct a film that was worthy of an Oscar before? It seems to me that every glass ceiling that there is to break should have been broken in Hollywood a long time ago. And No Man Land, it is real. Listen, now, I don't follow movies like I did. I used to follow movies all the time when I was a kid. Now I've grown up. I'm an adult, and I live in the real world, not the world of fantasy, and I'm really not into movies too much. Now, with that being said, I do become a victim of a little binge watching from time to time. Like right now, I'm watching Game of Thrones. Well, not right now, but when I have time, I'm watching Game of Thrones. Started from episode 1, season 1. Been watching it for a while. And now I just hit season 2, first episode of season 2, and it'll probably take me 5 years to get through it because I don't really have a lot of time to watch TV. But I'm not into movies. Movies, not only is Hollywood the most self-important group of people I've ever heard of and ever encountered, okay, these Hollywood people with their boring movies, but one of the major problems they have is that people who write and direct movies today have no talent or education. They give movies to people to write and direct and everything that have never even probably read a book these days. Now, this girl that won for Best Director on No Man Land, Chloe, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. Is it Zhao? And I was reading her Wikipedia just a minute ago. And it says here, let me read her Wikipedia, okay? Chloe Zhao, she's the first Asian female to ever win Best Director at the Woke Oscars. It says here, she's a Chinese filmmaker known primarily for her work in independent U.S. films. Yeah. She's currently directing a new Marvel film that hasn't come out yet, called Eternals, which is part of that big Marvel universe, which is expected to be a blockbuster. She was born in Beijing in 1982. Her father, it says here, this is on her bio. Her father rode the wave of China's industrialization to great success, first as a top executive at one of China's largest steel companies, later in real estate development and equity investment. Her mother was a hospital worker who was in a People's Liberation Army performance troupe. Vogue says that she described herself as a rebellious teen, lazy at school, who drew manga and wrote fan fiction. She loved films growing up. When she was 15, her parents sent her to Brighton College in the United Kingdom. Her parents separated. Her father remarried a comic actress, Song Dandon, whom she had grown up watching on television. She went to College of Massachusetts, and studied film at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts. And then it goes through her bio. But this is what I'm not understanding about her, and I'm curious about this. Don't worry, we're not going to spend 3 hours on the radio talking about the Oscars. But I do think that there's something here about this particular winner that's being celebrated today for Best Director that needs to be talked about. Is she Chinese or American? Are her parents Chinese or American? Does her father still work for the Chinese company? What connection does she still have to China? And this is why I bring this up. Is she a capitalist or a communist? Hollywood, for the last 10, 15 years, has been catering a lot of what they've done to China. First time I really heard about this is they remade Red Dawn, which is a terrible movie, which instead of the Soviets, it was about a Chinese invasion of the United States. And after the film was made, they went back with CGI, took out all the Chinese logos on all the soldiers and made them North Korean because they didn't want to alienate China to release the film over there. What I'm wondering here, and I don't know because I never heard of this girl before this morning, but this woman that won, first Chinese female to win Best Director, is this the beginning of a Chinese Communist Party takeover of Hollywood openly? It's very important, I think, to know, is she a communist or a capitalist? Now, I'm sure she's a capitalist when it comes to her getting paid, from the Marvel Universe and everything. Marvel is Disney. Disney, of course, has a partnership with China, big time. Are now, all this talk about the McCarthy era, about the communist inside Hollywood, is this an out-of-the-closet move by the Chinese communist to take over Hollywood? And if so, this is a big deal. This is a big deal because Hollywood includes all of our media that we're exposed to. Not just movies and TV, but everything, including news. And I do think it is important for us to know whether or not she is a capitalist or a communist. What connections does she still have with China today, the Chinese Communist Party? What connections does her family have with them? And are we moving into an era now where Chinese propaganda is going to be the way that things progress in the entertainment industry? Back in the days of the Red Scare, with the communists making their move in Hollywood, which, by the way, Joe McCarthy was right. Most people with sense understand today that Joe McCarthy was right. But back during those days, there weren't any Soviet directors winning Oscars. Right? There weren't any directors born in the Soviet Union whose family were big shots with the party. Her family are well connected with the party. How do you think you become an industrialist in China? You're in with the Chinese Communist Party. So while I don't care about the Oscars, the only thing I've seen, I believe, that was nominated was the one that won No Man's Land because it's free on Hulu. This is something that we should all really, truly be concerned about. And that is the People's Republic of China's influence in Hollywood. And this is an example of it. Maybe I'm wrong, but these are questions that should be asked. And she's going to be on a media tour. Everyone's going to be talking about this director. And this is a question that needs to be dealt with because it's something we need to know. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe her and her entire family have rejected the Chinese Communist Party. Maybe they're dissidents now, like the NTD people on YouTube. I don't know, but we should know. We should know. All right, let's take our first break of the week. My name's Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll take that first break and be right back.
Suffer with diabetes. Did you know there's a 25% chance that
well done, Don Bon Jovi. You can leave then if you'd like. If you don't like what I'm talking about, there's only about 10 million other YouTube channels. I'm not here to talk by request with what Don Bon Jovi, who's not even creative enough to come up with his own name, wants me to talk about.
I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesouauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing.
Well, John Bon Jovi, whatever the hell your name is, like I say, you can get your own YouTube channel, anyone can, and you can talk about all the important things that I'm missing on, right? Go ahead and do that. Start the John Bon Jovi YouTube channel and talk about all the important issues. Do something with your life instead of griping. Yes, we're live on the radio, on a bunch of radio stations. And I stream here on YouTube while I'm on the radio. Radio stations.
753-8080. 954-753-8080. Listen to the show on iHeartRadio.
Hey guys, happy Monday morning. We're back 20 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's take the first call of the week. You're on the radio. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. Just waiting to go to work.
No, that's good. Okay.
For you, Mike Lindell.
Yes. I probably at some point in the future.
Okay, well, we're all waiting for you to get on there, buddy.
You mean on the Mike Lindell platform? I will probably, the Mike Lindell, Frank speech has obviously been under attack from the moment it went live on the internet, right? So I will wait until all that is done. When it's up and running to its full capacity, then that's probably when you'll see me join over there.
He's letting loose.
Yeah, I know. I do watch it from time to time, but so that's what I'm waiting for. I told you before the Frank speech went live that it was going to be technically just a disaster in the beginning because the left don't want Mike Lindell to have a platform. So immediately, I told you before it went live, I talked about it quite a bit the morning that it was going to go live, just a few minutes before it went live, that the liberal trolls are going to go after it and attack it. And boy, did they. They hacked it. They've made it almost inoperable, and it hasn't really debuted as a social media network yet because of these left-wing attacks. So when that's worked out, that's when you'll start seeing me over there. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, Brian. Good morning. This is John in Wellington.
Hey, John. What's up?
As far as the Oscars are concerned, they used to go to the Best Picture and the Best Actor and Best Special Effects and stuff. But lately, like when I say lately, I mean mid-90s and on, they basically go to the liberals' pet projects. And most recently, awards for Best Actor or Best Director have gone to whoever the victim du jour happens to be.
Well, except when Anthony Hopkins took the Oscar away from the guy that died, because they thought he should win it. I've forgotten his name. Boseman, the guy from the Black Panther movies.
Yes, yeah.
Well, no, this thing I'm talking about, I don't give a damn about the Oscars. I really don't. But I think it's important for us to know if this celebrated Asian female director has renounced communism, or is her, yeah.
That was my next point. While you were reading her bio, the first thing that popped into my head was, she's a Chinese spy.
Well, I don't know if she's a spy, because she seems to be pretty out in the open. And I see she was educated in America. I don't see anything in there about her family relocating to America. Is her father and her parents still active in China? You know, all these things. I was expecting to read in her bio something about her family leaving China over human rights abuses or something and coming here, but it looks as if she's, she's over here taking Hollywood by storm for the CCP.
That's what it looks like. And if they wanted to remain Chinese and still escape the communism of the People's Republic, they could have gone to Taiwan.
Yeah, and, listen, when you look at what's... I was listening to a lot early this morning before I left the house on Fox, because, and they were talking about the Oscars. I haven't heard any... And I've read a lot online, and I've seen a lot of people... I have no sound bites from the Oscars. I don't care what any of these people have to say. So I'm not playing sound clips from the Oscars on the show today at all. I don't have one audio soundbite from the Oscars. Thank you very much. But I'm listening to these people on television. I'm looking at what people are saying on Twitter. No one picked up on this question I'm asking about this Chinese lady director from No Man Land.
Yeah, but isn't no information a lot of information?
Oh, I think her family are still active with the Chinese Communist Party, probably, or there would be something in her Wikipedia about her family escaping, fleeing, denouncing. Nothing. And is she a U.S. or Chinese citizen? I don't know. If I were interviewing her, my first question would be, are you a capitalist or a communist? Do you denounce the Chinese Communist Party? All these things. And if they're woke and she's Chinese, look at how women are abused over there by being forced to have abortions if they get pregnant. So this is a big deal. I know a lot of people say, oh, the movies, talk about this, talk about that. If there's been a Chinese Communist Party takeover that's now open in Hollywood, I think that's a pretty big damn deal. I'm sorry.
Well, communism in the United States is wide open now. They don't try to hide it. They are what they are, and they don't...
Well, we know that, like, the NBA, Disney, they're partnered with the Chinese. Now, with this director, this might be the first open, connection that we're getting out of that, and that's troubling. And we got Biden with his this Burisma and all these connections that his son has to the hedge fund over there and all these things. This is something to really truly be concerned about.
Well, historically, communists always bide their time. But there's got to be a moment when they do emerge.
Well, yeah, and you're right. Thanks for the call. Yeah, John in Wellington. Yes. The one thing about the left, people don't realize this so much about the left. The left are, not the individuals, but the movement is, as a group, is very patient. The slow takeover. One last thing, though, and then I'll break at the bottom, and then I'll get into some other issues. But I'd like to hear your comments on what I've talked about so far. Regina King, who was talked about Chauvin and the Floyd thing there in the beginning. She's a pretty good actress, and there was a police show that she was on a few years ago that was really good. It was on TNT. It was called Southland, and she played an LAPD detective. And it was a pretty good show. And it got canceled a few years ago. I used to watch it. And there was an episode with Regina King. She was pregnant and still on the job as a detective. And she was chasing down a suspect and got into a fight with a suspect. And the suspect and her were in a fight. He had a knife and he was about to stab her in her belly. And she's on the ground. This is Regina King, Miss Woke Oscars. And she's on the ground and she's begging this guy not to stab her because she's pregnant, not to kill her baby. And her partner came in and shot the guy dead and saved her life and the life of her baby. So, she's all woke and everything, but she's part of the police drama stereotypes that she thinks that she is against. All right, now listen, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. When we get back, I'll jump into some other issues. But I had to get that out because I think that's a very important thing about this director. Okay, 1-888-GO-CANE1. That's our number. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-3733. 2631. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
If you suffer from excruciating
Be right back, guys.
or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lemaski. Dr. Troy Lemaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment for the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away, well, if you want to get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaski.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the BioStation West Delray. Have you tried and tried to effectively lose weight but failed? Have you worked your tail off trying to build muscle with no result? At the BioStation West Delray, we offer all of the latest treatment modalities, including growth factor and peptide therapies to help promote weight loss, muscle recovery, support cognitive function, improve libido, and more. If you want to get to the root cause of the problem, our medical team can do the job. Call the BioStation West Delray at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Well, we are on FM and AM stations.
Just search for WWN.
All right, welcome back, guys. 31 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Richie.
Hey, Richie the Bus Driver. What's up?
Very interesting, your theory with this director, with the Chinese. But I'm going to give you a warning, okay? This is my crazy theory. I believe that we're being set up here. I mean, we're really being set up. Friday night, another African-American in New York City put a man in a hospital, a 68-year-old Asian gentleman.
Yes.
On the verge of dying. The bottom line is that they're going to start calling us more than racist if these Asians keep getting attacked. I'm trying to, and when we bring up these pictures and are they communists and everything, they're going to put a blanket on all of us like this. I really believe this. This is set up.
Well, what set up for what, by who, for what purpose? What do you mean? What?
The left is going to call it the left. I think this. If there were white people attacking Asian people right now, we'd be called murderers and attempted murderers more than.
Well, since Biden came into office, all of a sudden we started hearing about the Asian hate crimes, and pretty much everyone I've seen in the news involves someone who's African American attacking an Asian person, and the reason that you see blacks attacking Asians, there's a lot of problems here, okay? This has been a conflict that's been going on for as long as I can remember. Black people get very upset when Asians move into their neighborhoods with businesses, whether it's a convenience store, a restaurant, a gas station. They think all the businesses should be black owned or something, I don't know. and there's been tension between blacks and Asians verbally for many, many years that I've heard because of those issues. A similar thing with blacks towards Hispanics out in Southern California, because a lot of Hispanics have moved into what have been traditionally black neighborhoods. And,
Then you have black superstar basketball players that are taking all the money from China. And just like you said, this director, I mean, let's face it, follow the money. You know, that's what they say all the time. And China has the money.
Well, it's not that they have the money. Lots of places have the money. But Hollywood for years has been catering to China. I think this director is the first moment of them stepping out of the closet with it, is what I'm saying. I mean, because I read through her bio very carefully twice before I went live on the air this morning, because I wanted to make sure. I didn't see anything about her family relocating to America or Taiwan, denouncing the Communist Party, nothing. And I think, you know, and hey, listen, I have no issues with Asian people, with Chinese people. Some of the smartest, most successful people I've known in my life are Asian, from different Asian countries, including China. But they're not members of the Chinese Communist Party, is what I'm telling you. You know, that I have no respect for, and that's something we should be concerned with. I'm sorry, it's a big issue. And if you've noticed, this anti-Asian hate crime thing that's all of a sudden came out of the blue almost happened the moment Biden took the oath of office. There's big things going on here that I don't think any of us really have our mind around yet.
It's outrageous, and they're still, you know, not for nothing, they're still blaming President Trump for what's going on with the police being attacked, and they're saying that President Trump, his policies have made us the way we are right now, that we're attacking each other.
Yeah.
What they reported on TV, and I'm in shock. Here's a man out of office. They won't blame the guy in office. Matter of fact, they give him a 52% approval rate.
If you believe that, if anybody, listen, Biden has a 52% approval rating. That means 52% of Americans approve of him. If you're one of those, please call me and tell me what Biden has done that you approve of. I'd like to hear that.
It's incredible what I'm watching I don't even want to watch the Sunday shows. You can see how prejudiced they are, and how it's just really bad. And Trump is still being blamed for all of this.
Yeah, and I like how Kamala Harris, she says she can't get to the border fast enough, but there's COVID issues. What is she talking about? People are going to the border all the time. Members of government, Trump went, congressmen went.
She's like...
Yeah, she's fully vaccinated. She can go anywhere she wants. She travels out to California all the time. She's traveled to California several times as vice president. She went to Chicago for the cupcakes a couple weeks ago. Why can't she go? The reason she doesn't go to the border is because the moment she goes to the border, it becomes her problem. Once she sets foot down there, because Biden said she was going to handle it, she knows what to do, and once she goes there, she's the border czar.
How about Biden being on a Zoom call with a mask on and the only one in the room?
Well, no. Now, this thing with Biden, there's a little bit more to that. Biden was on a Zoom call, I don't know with how many heads of state. It was like 40 heads of state. Not only was he the only head of state with a mask on, he was the only head of state that didn't have his nation's flag behind him. Go look at it. No, most people didn't catch that. I caught it. He's the only, and there must have been 40 to 50 different heads of state there. You could hardly see the screens, the squares were so little. Biden was the only foreign head of state, not just with the mask, that doesn't bother me as much, the only one without his nation's flag behind him, because the liberals are ashamed of our great flag and our great country. That's why.
They probably forgot to put it on his lapel.
I'm not talking about the lapel. No, every head of state but Biden had a full-size flag behind them on the Zoom call, except Biden. I'm not talking about the lapel pin. Yeah, go and look at online at the pictures of that Zoom call with him, and that's a statement.
Just sorry.
That's a statement.
It's just sorry.
Because the left hate this country. The left hate this country. That's what it's about. You know? Yeah.
Have a nice one.
All right, take care. And I find that disgusting. And you should too. And no one's I'm so fed up with the media. You know, I the only reason I watch any television news, and I watch very little, is because I have to. For my job, I have to be informed of what's going on everywhere. So I have to expose myself to their garbage. And media bias isn't just a spin on a story. Okay? That's bias. But the biggest bias isn't that. Because that, you hear it, you see it, you understand it. The biggest bias in media is choosing what stories to report on and which stories not to cover. That's bias too. And that's the biggest bias of all. And when Joe Biden was the only head of state that didn't have a flag behind him on his Zoom call, what's that about? What's that about? Now if somebody calls them out on this, other than me, and it gets back to them, next time they'll have 20 flags behind them to overcompensate for it. That's what they do. They're propagandists. But that was the story. Not that he had a mask on, that he was the only one without the flag. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Mike in Boca.
Hey, Mike in Boca. How you doing?
So I did not know about, that's a very good observation. I did not watch that video, but I saw the picture, but I never actually looked behind, and now that...
Well, go back and look, and you'll see a flag behind every other head of state but Biden.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember seeing a flag behind everyone, but the only thing I looked at when I looked at Biden was that stupid mask. Now, this woke crap is just, it's all it is, the media, and it's the news. Like you said the other day, your daughter is adopted, she's black, Steve has black children. You've never encountered this stuff unless you see it from the news, Hollywood, or you see it from these stupid commercials that they have on TV. Every time I see a commercial, I'm glad I don't watch too much television outside of the news, and I watch very little of that, because these commercials are just, they're insane. I'm like, what are they? And I did not watch the Oscars, not even a bit of it.
No, I didn't watch any of it. I used to, years ago, where's that at? The Roddy Piper documentary, where's that at?
Yeah, it's brand new. It was on A&E. You gotta watch it. It's excellent.
Oh, I'll take a look at it. You know, I used to watch, when Joan Rivers was alive, I used to watch the Oscars red carpet because she was so funny, Joan Rivers. Yeah, and she would take jabs at the stars live right to their faces. But this, now you heard me talking about this Chinese director. You know, is this the beginning of the Chinese Communist Party takeover of the film industry?
Well, who started it was another one that people forget about is Jackie Chan. He never denounced communism.
Jackie Chan was from Hong Kong. Before they took it back from the Brits. I wouldn't consider him part of that. No. That's this girl here came out of nowhere, and he had a history before Jackie Chan came to America. He had a long history of successful films out of Hong Kong before he came here. This girl came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, they gave her an Oscar for a horrible film, No Man's Land, and I've seen it, so I can tell you. It's the one I saw. It's free on Hulu. Watch Frances McDormand go to the bathroom in a bucket in her van. That's how exciting it is. And yeah, I'm serious. That's what it's about. And her father is big with the Chinese communists. Her mother or stepmother is part of the People's Liberation Army things. I mean, this is concerning. I'm sorry. This is not about the Oscars and movies. This is about our culture, our society, our nation.
They're just, I don't know. These people get paid for this. I think to myself, that was if I could do this, I could make money. But it's just it's so crazy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with making money, but what the question is she making propaganda? I don't know. All right, hey, thanks for the call, Mike in Boca. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Brian, how are you?
All right, what's your name?
It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea, what's up?
So I, like you, noticed that Biden didn't have the flag behind him.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one.
No, I noticed it right away because after I got over the thought of why this.
It's not just that he did. It's not just that he didn't have the flag behind him. Every other head of state in the Zoom meeting did. He was the only one without it.
And that to tell Americans everything that they need to know. But the other thing that you have never heard from this administration is when they talk about a tragedy, they never say, we are praying for them. They never say that. You never hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I haven't, from the Biden administration, I don't know what I haven't, I haven't paid close enough attention to pick up on that one.
And super interesting because I didn't watch the Oscars.
I didn't watch 1 second of it. I've been subjected to some clips on TV. I do not have one soundbite from the Oscars. I don't care what any of these people have to say. And I know you don't either, so I'm not playing any clips from it on the air today.
Well, I thought it was really funny that Regina King was like, if the verdict didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I was going to put on my marching boots. Well, what does that say about you? What does that say about you?
Yeah, and I'd like to know, there's something I'd like to know, to get into the Oscars, what kind of protection do they have there? Is it armed protection? What if somebody just decided to walk on in? What would happen to them? You've got people that are surrounded by police protection telling you how bad the police are, like Regina King and the rest, in a very high security area.
I would just like to say, this is how this insanity will stop. If the police just united and just said, we're not doing it anymore. Like, sorry, you don't want us, so we're not going to protect any of you. Hollywood, LeBron.
You know what I'd like to see? I don't know how many people were at this Oscars last night, but I'd love to see the police units show up at the Oscar red carpet when things are back to normal with the drug-sniffing dogs. Like to have the drug-sniffing dogs on the red carpet.
Would be phenomenal.
That'd be great television.
That would be outstanding.
Yeah.
Jen.
Especially the ones that are specialists at sniffing out cocaine.
But you know what? These Hollywood people need to be woke. This is, in my opinion, why. Because over the last year and a half, they haven't been as exalted as they have previously been. Right now, they get it that normal people just don't care anymore about them or their opinion.
Well, what happens is, first off, the movies, who the hell can afford to go to when the movie theater's open? Afford it. You go to the movies with your family, it's $100 night. And real life is a real wake-up call, and if you look at the movies, Bill Maher talked about this. He said all these movies that are nominated are terminally boring and depressing. People don't want to be depressed during this last year. They want to be happy. They're putting out inferior products, and it's just garbage. But listen, I got to run for our break. Thanks for the call, Andrea. All right, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We'll take our last break of the first hour. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
So you've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive. If you go to your doctor's office or one of the big labs, it can cost you hundreds of dollars. Sometimes I haven't had lab tests because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs' goal is to get you all the lab tests you need, save you money, and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, you never need an appointment, no doctor's order, or prescription needed either. You can walk right in and have any of their thousands of lab tests done for just a fraction of the price the big labs or your doctor's office charge. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-906-5983. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's 420.
Hey, 420. What's up?
Package that Joe Biden and the Democrats are trying to ram through, and which only 6% goes to actual infrastructure.
Okay, and
the other one would be, and a lot of people are going to die trying to go to Mars.
Well, what do you think about that?
Which one?
When's the last time you smoked marijuana, by the way?
I'm smoking right now.
I could tell by the content of this call.
Yeah.
Unreal. Is it legal marijuana or is it illegal marijuana you're smoking?
It's absolutely legal.
Well, no. Hold on. Let me rephrase this. I'm not asking if it's legal in the state where you are at. Is the marijuana that you're ingesting, was it purchased legally through a pharmacy or a marijuana distributor that's licensed, or did you buy it from someone in a private?
You have to sign up and show your ID, and they deliver it to your door.
Really? Who delivers marijuana? What state are you in? Where do they deliver marijuana to your door?
Nevada.
Oh my goodness. How much do you have delivered at a time? Like your last delivery?
The legal limit I am allowed to order is 1 ounce.
Oh my goodness, people do in prison for that. And how often do you have an ounce? How long does it take you to go through an ounce?
2 months.
2 months. And how much does an ounce of marijuana cost?
It's all strain dependent. If you really want to get into it, it's not the cartel. It's not like you would say your grandfather's cannabis anymore.
My grandfather didn't smoke marijuana, to my knowledge. He was a cop, But maybe so. This is multi-generational with you. So the ounce of marijuana that came to your door, how much was it?
It's $100 for a half ounce.
So that's $200 an ounce?
With a tip.
Tip that delivers. The dealer? Who delivers this? Who delivers marijuana to your house?
It's perfectly legal. The dispensary has their own car, and it's all on the up and up. I have to pay state taxes and all kinds of stuff.
Now, is that $100 with taxes for half an ounce?
Yes.
And how, I mean, you say it lasts you 2 months, a whole ounce. Do you roll it in joints? How do you consume it?
Well, I have a nice little spoon pipe that costs about $60, and I've had that for...
Okay, now what do you do for work to be able to sit around and smoke weed all day and buy it?
Don't worry about what I do, Brian. What do you do?
I'm a radio talk show host and podcaster. I'm at work right now.
I'm going to turn this around.
You're not going to turn anything around. I'm at work right now. This is what I do for a living, talking to people like you. This is what I get paid to do.
Well, I actually do a lot of consulting.
Okay, what do you do specifically that generates money so that you can purchase marijuana by the ounce in Nevada legally?
Okay. I do a little bit of consulting, which is enough to pay.
What do you consult on? What do you consult on? What industry?
Spoke about.
You're a marijuana consultant?
You can. I like to use the word cannabis.
Okay. So what? Why would someone consult with you? When somebody calls you up for your cannabis consulting services, what are they asking your consultation on?
Well, how much time do you have before your break at the bottom of the hour? Because I can talk about cannabis.
No, I don't want you to talk about cannabis in general. No. You say that you make a living as a cannabis consultant. So this is a service people pay you for. When somebody is asking you for your cannabis consulting services, what can they not figure out on their own that they need a stoner like you to help with?
Okay, I'll try to simplify it for people that don't understand cannabis and the industry.
I don't need a history of cannabis. Somebody needs help with their marijuana. They call you as a cannabis consultant. What is the problem they're having, and what do you advise them on?
Normally, 9 times out of 10, it's a soil issue.
What do you mean, like a soil issue?
Their pH balance, or the first question...
people that have grow houses call you on how to cultivate marijuana?
It's all legal above the board. All above the board.
Oh, so you're like a horticulture guy.
Well, I guess you could say that, yeah.
And how much do people pay you? Like, they call you up, they have a consultation. Do you charge by the minute, by the hour, by the consult?
Okay, how much do you get paid?
I'm asking you. Well, I get paid a salary. I'm not asking you for the dollar amount. I mean, how do they pay? They pay you by the minute, the hour, the consult?
I get paid enough.
I didn't ask you how much. I said, what do they pay you for? For a consult, for an hour, for a minute? How do you charge?
I don't discuss that.
Well, how do people find you to consult you with? Do you have a company? Do you have a website? What do you know? How do people find you?
You don't. If you're in the game, you know how to find me.
Wow. Wow. This is America. This is Obama Biden's America that they brought us. The legalization of marijuana. This is what they brought us. Isn't that great? It was Obama that really started this push.
Brian, let me ask you, why are you so anti-cannabis? Like, wouldn't it be beneficial to have the capitalist society and have it taxed?
No. In fact, what legalized marijuana has done is increased the illegal marijuana business. Because legal marijuana is much more expensive because of the taxation on it. I think you're being not totally honest on what it costs for an ounce of legal marijuana. Legal marijuana is so heavily taxed, it's very, very expensive. So the illegal weed dealers, their business is booming. And when you get stopped with marijuana, it's difficult for a cop on the street to tell the difference between legal and illegal weed. So actually what legalization has done is caused more illegal selling of marijuana and also more usage of it. And you know this is right. All right, enough. I've talked to you enough. Good morning. You're on the radio. Sad.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
All right. Sad. That last guy, just sad.
It is, but the thing that I don't think he's really a horticulturist. I think he's more of an agronomist, because I used to grow up on a dairy farm, and I still listen to a lot of the podcasts about that. People that are growing this cannabis, it's more or less trying to get the right amount of soil, the nutrients to the plant so that they get a good crop. But the way he's kind of not explaining everything, because, I don't know, he probably had a little too much or whatever else. But, it's more or less agronomist that deals with growing and all that.
That guy isn't doing anything. That guy, he's either in a stone-induced fantasy about what he does for a living, okay, or he's advising people on their illegal grow houses. I don't believe anything. The only thing I believed that he said in that call is that he's high. That's it. Everything else was a lie.
Yeah, that is true. He's probably high. But, for me, being in the trucking industry, I can't take any of that. Because if I all of a sudden get this truck in an accident, they find THC.
Well, I can't take any of that either, because you know what? Because I have responsibilities. I have and work. I can't go around high like that, like he is, sitting at home stoned. And here he is calling me from Nevada. I don't know if they do the daylight savings in Nevada or not, but it's like 5 o'clock in the morning out there where he's at, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. He's up, stoned out of his mind. At 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm on my way to work. I can't sit around 420, and he calls himself what? It's sad. That's Obama's America. Ronald Reagan had just say no. Obama and Biden, they come in with just say yes, and it's very destructive.
Right, it is. And people, like you said in a previous statement, the legal marijuana is actually cheaper. And, people are going to still go that route no matter what happens.
Yeah, and, I don't even drink, except when we do our listener cruises. It's my yearly vacation, and I will overdo it and those, especially on the first night. Those of you that have been on the cruises know this. But most of you are overdoing it, too, on the first night, so you may not notice as much. But other than our cruises, I don't drink. And the reason I don't drink is because I've got to get up every morning and come to work. And even on the weekends, I have to get up early in the morning and have responsibilities. I don't have time to sit around and loaf on something like that last caller. That's the Obama legacy, is the legalization of marijuana.
Right, because got one thing to add about the drinking. For us with the CDL, it's 2 points lower than the state average.
Okay, all right, no. Listen, I got to run for our top of the hour, but I appreciate the call. All right, 2 minutes after 7. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. This special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080.
This is Dr. Mitchell Matez of the Biostation West Delray. I am so happy to be able to now offer the latest and most comprehensive approach to health, wellness, and anti-aging at my new West Delray location. In addition to the hormone therapies you are accustomed to, we can now offer testing for
Steve Kane Show. No. Oh, by the way, guys, if you don't already, join my Marco Polo group. It's really cool. It's free in the App Store, Marco Polo, and you can find me there, Brian Craig Fans, and it's a pretty cool group where you can leave videos and things like this. And the group's building. Hold on 1 second. If you go there, you can see the videos that people, most of them are from the chat room here, leave up there. It's Marco Polo, like the Great Explorer. And it's free, Brian Craig Fans, and it'll come right up. And people leave videos there all the time. I leave videos. My wife leaves videos. People here from the chat room are in there leaving videos and talking about what's going on in their life, the issues of the day, and it's fun, and it's free.
561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's...
All right, guys, welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun, and now it's been a week and a day. I've been sleeping on the MyPillow mattress topper, and I got to tell you, I've gotten the best night's sleep in these last 8 nights than I've gotten in the last 8 years, and probably 16 years, and even 24 years. I sleep so well each and every night on that MyPillow mattress topper. It turns your whole bed into a big MyPillow, and it's spectacular. It really, truly is. And Mother's Day is coming up May 9th, and I'll tell you this: you want to give your mom a gift that she'll remember for years to come. That's the MyPillow mattress topper. Not candy, not something for the house that she'll forget, not flowers that are going to wilt and die, not a card that you put no thought in, but you just grab something. Go to MyPillow.com, pick up one of those MyPillow mattress toppers. They come in every size, from twin, queen, king, California king, whatever size bed you have, there's a mattress topper to fit it, and you'll be very happy that you did. If you go on my YouTube channel, I made a video, my wife and I, of us unboxing our MyPillow mattress pad and making our bed with it. And when you go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout, you receive 30% off the MyPillow mattress pad, and also get 2 free MyPillows that come with it. Great Mother's Day gift. Your mother will wake up every morning for years to come thinking about you and that great gift you gave her Mother's Day 2021, the MyPillow mattress pad. And by the way, mom includes not just your mom, but your grandmother, your mother-in-law, your wife, and your daughter if she has kids. The MyPillow mattress topper, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Again, 30% off and 2 free MyPillows. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Oh, hey, Doug, how are you?
Okay, it's interesting. I was offered to buy into a pot farm in Colorado during Obama. I said, well, wait a minute. It's illegal in Colorado, but federally it's against the law. I'm not going to pay money for something, and then all of a sudden the feds are going to come in and raid the place and close me down. You guys are nuts. But
well, you know why? Listen, why do you? I know the answer to this. Let me see if you know. Why did Barack Obama push legalizing marijuana that we now have? Why?
See, I got no idea.
What would you guess? What would be your thinking? He used to smoke it in Hawaii, he said in his autobiography, but that's not the reason.
I would think to get his
Okay, I'll help you out. Okay, to get marijuana legalized, it's done at the state level. and it has to be put on the ballot in each of those states. It's a way to get out the stoner vote. And they figured, and Obama figured, if we get the stoner voters out, that they'll vote. They just assume that all the druggies are Democrats, and they'll vote Democrat right down the line. That's why they did it. Very selfish of the Democrats.
But like I said back then when they didn't invest, how the hell can you pass something in a state that's against the law federally? I thought the federal government supersedes the state government.
All of a sudden, states' rights were very important to the Democrats, but that's why they did it.
Right, but I kept thinking, what happens when the federal government comes in and says it's still illegal, man? We're locked.
Yeah.
They're getting away with it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump gets back in, start squashing these pot.
No, they're no good.
Stone, and everybody's getting stoned, and pot leads to other drugs. But people don't like to admit that, but.
And I know a lot of people say, well, prescription drugs are the problem. Prescription drugs are not the problem. Illegal possession of prescription drugs is a problem, and the abuse of them. But if you have a good doctor and you only take what your doctor prescribes that you need, and don't shop around to a whole bunch of different doctors like some people do, you'll be fine. I've seen this happen a couple times. I'll be in line at Walgreens, and somebody won't fill someone's prescription for oxycodone or one of those other related things for whatever reason, and they have a flip out. I've seen this happen. A couple of times when I go inside. I usually go through the drive-thru, but when I've been inside at the pharmacy to pick up, and I always wonder what the deal is with that prescription. Why won't they fill? Either they're filling it too soon, or there's something funny about it, and they have meltdowns.
Yeah, you're right. My wife used to be a pharmacist. She retired from pharmacy because we didn't need her to work. But she used to say that all the time. That pharmacy wouldn't make any prescription that was.
Yeah. All right, Doug. Appreciate the call. Thanks so much. By the way, our number toll free 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. I don't know if our Supreme Court is really concerned. What do you guys think? The Supreme Court we have is pretty disappointing. There's no doubt about it. But there's a case coming up in front of the Supreme Court this session that doesn't seem all as exciting as a lot of these are, but it's part of the left's war on conservatives. There's a Supreme Court case which will decide whether nonprofit organizations must reveal their list of donors. And this is a big, big deal because there are a lot of great organizations out there that are nonprofits that people don't donate to because they're afraid their name will get released. There was a story last week. Was it a firefighter? I think it was a firefighter who donated money to the Kyle Rittenhouse Legal Defense Fund, and he's been fired. Now, I'm not a supporter of Rittenhouse, nor what he did, okay? I know Ricky Schroeder is. The actor Ricky Schroeder is working on that defense, and I know some of you guys may be. I am not, and I've seen the video, and it was wrong. Everything about it was wrong, and he will do time. However, I do believe that we are all presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everyone is entitled to a defense. And a lot of other people do too. And just because someone donates money to someone's legal defense fund does not mean that they're endorsing them or their actions or what they did. They just believe in our great justice system, perhaps. They might support them. They might think they shouldn't go to jail. Who knows? But the left, they're really pushing hard to have the nonprofit donor list forced to be released so they can start targeting people like this firefighter who lost his job over donating to that legal defense fund. Do you think that what would the Democrats do if they had access to the donor list at Project Veritas, for example? Do you think if the Democrats obtained the Project Veritas, because they're a nonprofit, people donate, if they obtained the Project Veritas list of donors, what do you think the Democrats would do with that list? they would start harassing those people, is what they would do, and destroying their lives if they have to, if they could. That's what they would do. You know, the Democrats, in all of their arrogance, believe that they're entitled to do whatever it is they want to do. And the reason that is because they believe that, well, they represent the people, the true people. And all these conservative groups that have been springing up, and there's more and more all the time, like Project Veritas and others, that survive by donors, they can't fight them in the public square because they're popular, they're doing the right thing, they have strong advocates. But if they can get the list of their donors, well, first off, right away, if you know your information could end up in the hands of one of these lefty activist organizations, you may not donate in the first place. And if you already have, they'll have your name and all your info, and you could lose your whole livelihood and be harassed for the rest of your days. That's what it's cancel culture, advanced level cancel culture is what they're doing. And I hope the Supreme Court rules that nonprofits can keep their donor list secret. You know, my wife donates to people, individuals, and organizations, not political, but that I'm talking about, although she may donate to political, but my wife donates to things to help people all the time. And I'm referencing it now, but I'm not telling you who it is or what groups that it is, not because it's political, because I'm not even talking about things that are political. But it's no one's business, and a lot of people don't like to brag about what they do and what they donate. A lot of people like to have their name all over it and want to be out there. That's fine. But most people that donate money to, especially these conservative nonprofits, or someone that would donate to Project Veritas, and I'm sure there's other groups too. I mean, that just pops in my mind because James O'Keefe is so in the news right now, and he does great work. But most people that donate to Project Veritas donate because they support the work. They don't want credit. And many people don't want to be known because they're afraid of what would happen to them in their life, in their business, or their job if it was known that they were donating to Project Veritas. So this is some pretty scary stuff. All right, let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Yes.
Hey, how you doing, man? Kyle Fish.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. I was just a bit curious as to what your further thoughts were on like recreational marijuana.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. By the way, when's the last time you smoked marijuana?
About 2 minutes ago.
2 minutes ago. Yeah, see, marijuana, legalization of marijuana is a topic that we stay away from on this program. We don't talk about it. I mean, I had some stoner call in the last hour that I wanted to show people how destructive marijuana is. But why do you think we don't talk about marijuana on this program? I'll tell you why when we're done, but why do you think?
I suppose because it's a bit newer in terms of legalization and taboo.
No. Taboo. Marijuana has been around forever. No, it's not because it's taboo. Because when you start talking about legalizing marijuana, what do you get? You get a bunch of stoners like you calling in, telling us how great drug use is. And, I know you think you're brilliant. The last guy on it thinks that he's a Rhodes Scholar and everything. But you're just a burned out stoner and the only reason that you think you're brilliant is because you're high or your brain's been damaged by it.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, man.
What do you do for a living?
I work at a grocery store.
What do you do at the grocery store?
Push shopping carts around most of the night, anyways.
You work at night. You work at night, and how often do you smoke marijuana?
Every day.
Really? How much do you smoke in a day?
I suppose a gram, maybe a bit less than a gram.
How much does a gram cost?
Well, Well, I buy it from a dispensary by like ounces, like biannually. But when I suppose before I was able to buy it from a dispensary, it would be like about $10.
How much does it cost through the dispensary?
I think a half ounce.
Okay, now, okay, half ounce costs how much?
A bit over 150, including taxes.
So it's $300 an ounce. Okay, I don't know if that's cheaper
Over 150
for half an ounce.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, multiply it by 2. It's over $300 an ounce. Do you work full time or part time?
Full time.
How many hours a week?
40.
40 hours. Okay. Out of your day, you smoke every day. How many hours of your day do you think you're somewhat high? Like you are now. You're high now, I can tell. So, like, how many hours of your day do you think you've got at least some residual effects of the marijuana?
The waking and closing hours, I'd say.
Waking and closing? How many hours a day are you high?
2.
Only, you smoke, like, okay, you smoke and it all wears off in an hour and you're fine?
Yeah.
Do you smoke before work and after work?
Productive than the alcohol I'm on.
Not at all. It stays in your system long. So you smoke before work and after work? Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, you don't even realize this. You don't even realize this. You're a drug addict. You're a drug addict. And how old are you?
Sorry, what's that?
How old are you?
25.
25. What, you going to school? What are your plans?
I plan to, marry a nice girl and...
Marry a nice girl. But I'm talking about career-wise, job-wise. What are your plans career-wise?
I don't have any big ones.
Yeah, that's right. Because your whole day, your whole day, hey, nothing wrong with working at a grocery store. I started out working in a grocery store too. And grocery store managers, at least here in Florida, make 6 figures a year if you're a store manager. But you're not. You're just pushing carts around at 25. You said you're not in management. You just push carts around. So no, you said that's what you're doing now. I asked you what you do now. You said that. You told me that. So you're a drug addict, and your whole day revolves around getting high. You wake up, you get high. You go to work. You tell yourself you're not high, but you still are, at least for a big chunk of that. And then you get off work and you get high again.
Well, it's not as if I smoked. It's downtime, mainly just for after work.
Downtime. Your life revolves around you getting high. You do it in the morning. You do it after work, before work and after work. And the only reason you work in a menial job is because all you really care about is getting high. You just need enough money to buy your weed, to have enough to smoke every day. That's all you care about. And the reason you have a menial job as opposed to working towards something greater is because you don't want any responsibility. Responsibility would interfere with you getting high all the time. You're just a stoner loser. You're Beavis, the other caller was Butthead. And it's sad. And the reason that we don't talk about marijuana on this program is because what happens is we get a bunch of stoner losers like you and the last guy calling in, telling us how great marijuana is. None of you have jobs. Those that do are menial jobs, and you're going nowhere, and your whole life revolves around your drug addiction.
That's going to change.
Oh, really? You're going to give it up?
Not for you. But I will if I need to.
What do you mean? Do you want to give up marijuana?
I don't need to.
Why don't you need to?
Because it's less harmful than the other intoxicants that people are commonly using on.
Do you know what intoxidants, okay? What intoxidants do you think I consume?
I never considered that.
Think about it.
For smoke at all?
Think about it. Do you think that I consume what you can call intoxidants?
I was just referring to classics like drinking and smoke.
I don't do either. I do, like I say, we do our yearly listener cruise, and I do drink then. and I might have during the year a couple of glasses of wine, but no, I don't get intoxicated. I don't smoke, and I don't get drunk. Why? Now, I don't smoke because it kills people, and people in my family are dead today because of cigarette smoking. And of course, smoking marijuana has all the negative side effects of cigarette smoking. But why do you think I don't drink? Why do you think I don't get drunk all the time?
So you can use your mind effectively, unlike a...
Exactly. Because not just because of that, but I have what you don't have: responsibilities. I've got a wife and a child and a family. And when I was your age, I was married, man, or on my way to being married. And, I have responsibilities.
It's good to have them,
But you don't.
Of course I do. I have responsibilities.
You said that your job is just pushing carts around at the store at night. That you go out in the parking lot and collect the carts.
I work, man. I have a whole bunch of other family matters and other things.
Oh, really? What are your responsibilities? When your gamer friends get together, you got to play Call of Duty or whatever it is. Are you playing? What responsibilities do you have?
For the Battlefield Act.
Oh, see, that's right. A gamer. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Stoner bum. All right, thanks for the call. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Owners, would you like to save money each and every month? Of course.
I hit the wrong commercial.
We've got you covered.
I hit the wrong commercial.
FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Soul Authority today, 954-597-7060.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
There used to be a show on the radio here in South Florida. It was on, I want to say it was like Saturday mornings, but it could have been I think it was on the weekends. Early in the morning. Does anybody remember this show? Our South Florida radio junkies. It was on the FM stations. And the Clean and Sober Hour. Remember the Clean and Sober Hour? I used to listen to that on the radio. That's what we've become here, the Clean and Sober Hour today. And, I'm not going to sit here and do a show on legalizing or not marijuana. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to sit here and kiss up to some drug addict and condone his loser behavior. I got a 25-year-old kid on the line whose whole day revolves around getting high. The only time he takes a break from getting high is when he has to go earn a few bucks so that he can buy his weed. I went to broadcasting school before I went to college. And there was a guy that I went to broadcasting school with. His name was Ryan. Brian with an R. His name was Ryan. We went to broadcasting school together, and he used to be a crack addict, Ryan. And he told me this thing. He was... This guy, I don't know what happened to Ryan. I don't even remember his last name. If you remember me, Ryan, and you're listening, call up. But he was a crackhead and homeless, and he would get jobs in the daily work pool. And he told me this, what his days were like during the day. He was always a drug addict, but he had moved on to other drugs. But he had sugar daddies and sugar mamas take care of him. At the time I knew him, he had a sugar mama taking care of him who was a medical doctor, and she found him when he was living on the beach. And I don't mean in a house on the beach. He was living on the sand on the beach where he'd sleep at night. But before And notice he went every which way. You know, he had sugar mamas and sugar daddies. But he was a nice guy. But he told me about his crack addiction. When he was hooked on crack, he didn't have a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. He was homeless. And he lived behind a convenience store in Fort Lauderdale. And he worked in the daily work pools. And they paid him $35 a day working on construction sites as, digging ditches or, labor work in the daily work pool. And he said he'd get paid his $35 and he'd go back to the convenience store, the one he lived behind. He'd go inside the convenience store. He'd buy himself a tall boy of beer. He said he'd buy himself a little piece of food that was, about the size of a $50. And then he'd go on the side of the convenience store and spend whatever money he had left buying crack. And then he'd go back behind the convenience store, smoke crack, pass out, and start the whole cycle over again. I'm not going to sit here and talk to drug addicts as if they're cool. They're not. And it's not. And in the chat room, I have people threatening me. I'll give you a thumbs down on your YouTube video if you don't start doing your research on the marijuana. We don't talk about legalization of marijuana on this program because, like I said to the other caller, you get nothing but drug addicts calling in talking about how great weed is. It is not. Okay? It is not. I know there are things that are worse. Anything that you do to excess is bad for you, and can result in health problems. But I'm just not going to sit here and think it's cool that people are calling in high and think that and have them tell you that their life is wonderful, because it's not. And if they start to tell you it is, they're probably lying. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Yes, good morning, Brian.
Yes. What's your name?
I just want to talk about the lady, the communist lady you're talking about.
Oh yeah, let me recap, because that was like an hour ago for what I was talking about, so people will know what you're referencing. So just bear with me while I do a quick recap. The Oscars gave Best Director to this Asian female director. They say she's the first Asian female to win Best Director for this garbage movie that I have seen, Nomadland, where you can watch Frances McDormand use Go Number 2 in a bucket in her van, and there's a couple scenes about that, watching her go Number 2 in the bucket in the van and disposing of the waste. It's brilliant filmmaking. John Ford, man, he was missing the whole boat here. But I read her bio. She's from Beijing. Her parents are both bigwigs, especially her father, with the Chinese Communist Party. And I don't see anything about her being a dissident, her family escaping China. I want to know, is she a communist or a capitalist? Is this the beginning of the Chinese Communist Party out of the closet takeover of Hollywood? So anyway, that's what this caller is referencing. Okay, so what are your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts is you are worried about the lady who won an Oscar at the Academy. But what you don't worry about, whose father is embedded with the Communist Party, and he's the minority leader of the Senate in the United States.
No, I'm concerned about that too, and I've talked about that a lot. Mitch McConnell's wife, Elaine Zhao, who, by the way, President Trump made her Secretary of Transportation. Her father, okay, her father, Mitch McConnell's father-in-law, went to school with the former president of China and is a bigwig in the Chinese Communist Party and has a lot. And there's no way you can tell me that $15 million he gave Mitch was just wasn't for something. So and God knows what else he's given Mitch over the years, and yeah. So no, this is what's in the news today, not Elaine Zhao and Mitch McConnell. This director is being celebrated as America's sweetheart today, and when you have, if she is part of the Chinese Communist Party, and it looks like she is because of how successful her family is over there, this is important because movies, Hollywood, have a huge impact over our society.
Okay. So let's take it this way then. But who's letting her have a platform in Hollywood? It's the Americans. It's the Americans in Hollywood. So if she was a big problem in America, Americans in Hollywood allow her.
Because Hollywood, because they're communist. Because they're communist.
That's your problem. It's not the problem of the lady.
Where are you calling me from? Where are you calling me from?
So you should be worried about.
Wait, hold on. Where are you calling me from? Slow down. Where are you calling me from? Where are you located?
I'm located in New York.
You're in New York, but where are you from? You're not American. What's your nationality?
I'm Spanish.
You're what?
Spanish.
Spanish?
Yes.
You're from Spain.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. No. Listen. Hollywood has sold out to China, just like the NBA, just like Disney and all the rest. And there is a huge, like Joe McCarthy was talking about the Soviet takeover of the entertainment industry, the communist takeover of Hollywood. He was right. Joe McCarthy was right then. Ronald Reagan said so. And he was there. And there's a similar thing going on now with the Chinese Communist Party. And the reason I bring this up is because I don't care about any of these movies or any of these actors or any of them. But I saw this director she's the new it girl, and since you're from Spain and not America, you may not even know what that means. But to our American listeners, they know what that means. She's the new it girl, the new flavor of the week. She's going to be celebrated. She's going to be on The View and everything else. And the first question I ask her is, are you a capitalist or a communist? My second question is, do you or your family denounce the Chinese Communist Party? I got a whole list. Nobody will ask her this. They'll celebrate the diversity, is all they'll do.
Right. Okay. So that's the whole problem. The problem is you are worried. You, a resident of America, is worried about if she denounces the Communist Party or not, or if she's a capitalist.
No, it's not if she denounces it. Is she in Hollywood? They just gave her a blockbuster movie to direct. There's a new Marvel film that she's going to direct, which is a big blockbuster thing. It's not about her if she herself is a communist or a capitalist. It's about whether or not Hollywood, which is all of our entertainment that we have in this country, film, televisions, video games, everything that goes with it, is it now been taken over by the Chinese Communist Party? And that means propaganda.
Okay, you're right. I understand what you're...
I mean, you don't get it because you come from a country where people sleep all afternoon. I mean, Spain hasn't contributed anything and since the conquistador era to our society, and that was all negative stuff, But, that's a big problem. If the Communist Party of China is now running Hollywood, I think people need to know about it. Oh, I guess he went to take his siesta. Good morning, you're on the radio. Oh, no, listen, I got to put you on hold. I'm looking at the clock. I got to take our break. 37 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of
Steve Kane Show.
Contracting, Roofing,
Hold on, you'll be
and
next.
Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are State of Florida certified roofing and general contractors, focusing on residential and commercial.
Well, listen.
Impact windows.
If you take issue with me or anything I'm saying or my tone, call me. I'll take your calls.
Or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will...
Oh no, I slept on my MyPillow mattress topper. I slept very well.
Repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Hurricane season is right around the corner. This gives us only a short period of time to make sure your roof and home is ready for the 2021 hurricane season. So don't delay and call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Our website is www.laportacontracting.com, where you will find our latest video and live testimonials from a few of our past clients. Our number again is 954-604-4602.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. You know, I know some people out there thinking I just dissed a whole country of Spain with that last caller. You know, America is very unique. It is the most important and best country ever in the history of countries, and certainly the best in this world today. You take Spain, for example. If Spain did not exist as of today, what would change in this world? Not much. There's not even tourism over there right now, right? Not much. Not much. That's exactly right, not much. You know, Europe has been shut down and locked down more than even the United States for over a year. How has that changed the world? You know, America is the hub of the world. And from America comes everything that's important. And that's the way that it is, people. And this lady director from Nomadland, which may be the worst film ever to win Best Picture, because I have seen it and can speak about it. I've watched the entire movie, Nomadland. It's free on Hulu, and it's garbage. I'd say it's crap, but Frances McDormand spends several scenes doing just that in the movie, literally, in a bucket, in her van. It's very exciting stuff. Oh my goodness, it's awful. But this lady director is going to be celebrated everywhere today, and I'm just bringing some things up about it. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, that's the number. You're on the radio. What's your name? All right, what's your name? Tim K, $5 super chat. Thank you. What's on your mind? Good morning, Brian. Great show today. You're very confrontational.
Oh my God, what is wrong with this? I mean, honestly, what's wrong with these politicians? They don't. I mean, they just don't flip. They got. You know, I was watching the weekend, watching a couple shows, and they was talking about Joe Biden will have the State of the Union address. I mean, they turned the TV. I don't want to hear what he got to say. What he's going to say?
Yeah.
He's going to say that's important to us. He does. Listen, he does not care. All he cares about is control and running his big fat mouth.
That's not it. You know, Joe Biden. I haven't talked about this in a while, but it's important to understand. Why do you think Joe Biden became president? What was his goal? His personally, as a person, why do you think Joe Biden wanted to be president?
Well, honestly, I think I might be wrong. I think he wanted to be president because he wants, I think, control.
Control? No. When you look at Joe Biden in his mental capacity, does he look like he's with it? No. What does his family do to earn a living? Like, I give an example. President Trump, his kids run the Trump organization. Ivanka, that's jewelry line. They're involved in all kinds of things, right? We know how they make their money. They made it, and they got all these real estate holdings that generate income and everything else. Biden's family, what business are they in?
Oh, they don't have a business. Their business is China.
Yeah, their business. Okay, no, Biden has a business. The Trump business is real estate, television, right? Resorts, things like this, right? A brand that they have, they sell things. That's the Trump business. Trump made his money the old-fashioned way. He earned it. How did Biden and his family make money? They're very wealthy.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because I've run across some of that, trying to get the education of what the world they've been doing.
Okay, now I'll tell you. Okay, Biden made his family money by selling out whatever office he held at that particular time. We saw what happened in the Ukraine. We know about this hedge fund deal that his kid has. So the reason that Biden became president is because his family are a bunch of bums. None of them do anything. He's the only one that's gotten, and he hasn't done much either, but he's been in government. So this is his last opportunity to set his family up, because none of them are employable. They probably pissed away most of the money they've made already, because they're like, they didn't earn it, they don't respect it, they don't have it, they got cash. It wasn't in things like the Trump Organization that are revenue generating and things like this, not buildings that you could sell. But this is his last opportunity to set his family up financially. That's why. And that's why the stimulus bill is like 8% for infrastructure. The rest is to donors.
Yeah. And I was listening to some videos, and they was showing where white people was apologizing, to black people. They was having this on CNN. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all folks? Are you sick? You should apologize for your color. You should apologize for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you bring about all this racist stuff that happened, and none of us was alive. I know I wasn't back in those days. It doesn't make any sense for all of this to be.
Yeah, and I love these millionaires at the Oscars telling us how that are black, telling us how racist America is. I mean, who's the big black director? He was up there telling people to get along. The one that has his name on the name of every one of his movies. You know which one I'm talking about? That does the Medea, whatever that stuff's called. You know who I'm talking about. What's his name? The guy's got I can't think of his name offhand. He's got an island, a private island in the Bahamas. Sounds like being black's pretty good to me. I don't have an island in the Bahamas. So why and so I see all these millionaires that are black on TV telling us how, Tyler Perry, thank you very much. I see all these black millionaires on TV here at the Oscars telling us how bad it is to be black in this country, systematic racism. If all that is true, how are they black millionaires?
Exactly. It's just a many people.
It makes no sense.
Wow, yeah. It don't. It makes no sense. I was just talking to one of my grandkids over the weekend. She's 12 years old. She was telling me, they was teaching us, they gave us a list, the green gas and green stuff. I said, what?
Yeah.
I told my God, please pay attention to these kids. Pay attention to your kids, because don't let these people blind them with this kind of education. That's not good.
Yeah, now they're talking about reducing the amount of beef we eat, Biden. Like we can only have one hamburger a month or something. And I remember when the beef industry sued Oprah Winfrey. Remember this? That's how she met Dr. Phil. He was her therapist during that trial, the beef industry. Where's the beef industry going after AOC and Biden trying to shut them down?
This is ridiculous. This is like we live in a country where we don't even recognize them.
See, the Democrats don't stand for anything. The Democrats are all corrupt, and all they stand for is getting paid. And everything they do is about enriching themselves. They're not, AOC is a communist, but Bernie Sanders isn't. Bernie Sanders is worth millions of dollars. He owns, 5 houses? He has more. He has a, I summer in the same place I winter and fall. I have one house, but Bernie Sanders is a democratic socialist with 5 houses, and he's worth millions of dollars. No, they're all about enriching themselves. They're not communist. There's isolated communists among them, but they're just corrupt public officials, and this is the in vogue thing for them to get rich off of.
Yeah, because Sunday morning, I can't go to church right now. I haven't been to church when my pastor was preaching. And I overheard the conversation you were saying online, and I just got so infuriated, and I turned it off. I don't want to listen to that. Democrats is the one helping us. They are not helping us.
Yeah.
On Facebook Live and made a live video about what I'm sick and tired of. I said, I've been in this country a long time myself.
Well, there's a lot to be sick and tired of. Listen, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. Now, I got to tell you, Champagne Automotive Repair, here on the Steve Kane Show, we found Champagne Automotive Repair last year, and they have just been life changers in my family and Steve's family, and I know many of you. You know, Champagne Automotive Repair, located right here in Boca, they will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. You assume when you go to an auto repair shop, they're ripping you off, right? Even if you have a little bit of mechanical knowledge, like I have a little bit, you just assume. Not Champagne Automotive Repair. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. They're honest, which is impossible to find, really, in the auto industry. We were very lucky to find Eddie Jr. and Sr., who own and run the father and son team of Champagne Automotive Repair. And you've heard some of our listeners. Guy went to one of the big places. They told him he needed brakes. He took his car over to Champagne Automotive Repair. Says, you don't need brakes. That's right. Steve's son took his car to one of those big places, had him looked over. They gave him this long list of things that they said needed to be repaired on the vehicle. He took his car up to Champagne Automotive Repair. They looked over it bumper to bumper, and they told him that he needed over $600 in repairs that his vehicle did not need. That's amazing. That's why we have listeners. They're located right here in Boca, by the way, Champagne Automotive Repair. We have listeners that drive more than an hour each way to have their cars serviced and repaired at Champagne Automotive Repair because they're so honest. They do everything, too. Luxury cars, sports cars, older vehicles, commercial vehicles, air conditioning work, transmission work. They do it all. They do it all. And by the way, their prices are great. I've had all the cars in my family have been worked on at Champagne Automotive, and I always kind of have in my mind what it's going to cost because my reference point are these con men that I've been dealing with my whole life, and they always come in far below even what my estimation was in my head. So listen, give them a call, Champagne Automotive Repair, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101 for Champagne Automotive Repair. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hey guys, Brian Craig here. Here on the Steve Kane Show, we love hearing from our listeners talk about their great experiences with our sponsors. Here's Rebecca talking about the My Pillow. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca.
Good morning. I just wanted to know, Steve and Brian, that I've been listening to you. I'm 57 years old. I've been listening to you since I'm 21.
Wow.
So you know, and this is my first time calling. I ordered My Pillow, and let me tell you, I thought it was just a, marketing tool saying that you sleep better at night. Oh my God. I'm here to attest that it is the truth. I sleep so much better. I can't even tell you. So I want everyone out there to believe that when people say you sleep better, you really do. And I've been having a lot of issues at night, and I've bought expensive pillows and, cheap pillows, and this has really made a difference.
Listen to Rebecca. Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and have the best night's sleep you've ever had with your MyPillow or one of the other great products that you'll find there. Promo code KANE, KANE, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Hey guys, welcome back. 6 before 8, I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Steve is off today. He'll be back tomorrow. He's got something going on this morning and could not join us live, but he'll be back tomorrow. And he'll tell us about what he's doing this morning, tomorrow, I'm sure. All right, welcome back. Our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You know, the left, there's a new poll out that have the left all freaked out. They don't understand it. Half of Trump supporters agree with the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict. I think it's 52 or 3%. And this is why they're confused. So more than half of Trump voters agree with... Now, this isn't about what you think about the case. But so I don't want to get debating it. That's old news. We're talking about we talk about news here. And to be news, it has to be new. And this is what the left are doing. And this poll is confusing to the left. What do you think is confusing to the left about this? More than half of Trump voters agree with the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict. Why do you think this is confusing to the left? It's pretty simple. You know why it's confusing to the left? Because that means more than half, by their standards, more than half of Trump supporters aren't racist. And they just assume that all Trump supporters are racist, and they can't understand. Jeez. It's not about what you think about the case. It's about this, so I don't want you to get sidelined on that. I don't agree with the verdict. I believe Derek Chauvin was guilty of manslaughter, but I think what they convicted him on was a little too harsh. He's facing life in prison, but they just like, well, how could this be? I just thought, well, you thought wrong, you Democrats. Now, this is really an amazing story. Have you heard about this guy in Oklahoma who's a state lawmaker out there that made a sex joke about Kamala Harris? I'm going to tell you what he said in a minute, but this is on the Fox News website. Kamala Harris sex joke has Oklahoma state lawmaker unrepentant with no plans to be politically correct. He won't apologize. And this has them really upset because typically when this guy, see, this is what Trump has done, right? This guy's probably, I've never heard of this guy before. I don't even remember his name. He's in Oklahoma. I'll read his name in the story. I forgot his name. Nathan Dam, D-A-H-M. Do you say Dam or Dahim? I don't know how you say his name. But he is a Republican in Trump's image because he doesn't apologize. And you should never apologize. Once you apologize, they got you. The left take apologies as a confession, an admission of guilt. And I don't apologize to people over things. I did once to someone here on the show, not because I thought they deserved an apology, but they were so upset. I apologized just to make them feel good, and they told me to go blank myself. Yeah, because then they when you apologize to liberals, it gets worse. Listen to this: an Oklahoma state senator is refusing to back down over a sexual joke he made about Vice President Kamala Harris that has sparked a bipartisan backlash and some calls for his resignation. Senator Nathan Dam, D-A-H-M, if there's another way to pronounce it, let me know, defended himself on Twitter Friday, writing he had no plans to be politically correct and has been told that his jokes are hilarious. He added that the emotional responses of his critics were irrelevant. He was speaking to Oklahoma City television station KTUL Television about a bill. Now listen to this. Now we're going to get into it. He was speaking to Oklahoma City TV station KTUL Television about a bill proposing to ban paper straws. Now I'll get to the Kamala joke in a second. Now I got a big beef with paper straws. Paper straws suck. They don't work. Okay? And I don't like the way they feel on my lip either. I like the plastic straws, but why doesn't the paper straw work? Because you're putting a liquid through it, and the liquid gets soggy. They suck. But this is what he said. This is what the state senator said. Quote, "You can't use a paper straw for a milkshake." That's true. Have you ever tried to drink a... He's right, I think. You can't use a paper straw for a milkshake. But maybe Kamala Harris could, because of her vast experience. Maybe she would be able to get that accomplished. Unquote. That's all he said. Now they're flipping out. Now they're flipping out. You know why? Because the left have dirty minds. He tweeted, he says, "Breaking, if you think I'm going to be politically correct, you need to realize a few things about me. 1, you obviously know nothing about me. 2, you're in for a bad time. 3, I've been assured my jokes are hilarious. And 4, your emotional opinions are irrelevant." The state lawmaker was elaborating on a news release he had released Thursday that said paper straws fall apart and turn to mush quicker than Joe Biden trying to string together a coherent sentence. This guy is funny. I like him. Trump should hire him to work on the campaign. They collapse like Mitt Romney. He's talking about paper straws. They collapse like Mitt Romney under the slightest amount of pressure. And even with Kamala Harris, well, never mind. The reporter pressed him on the joke, asking why, when having an adult conversation about deregulation, the 38-year-old senator would choose to throw in basically an oral sex implication. Well, he didn't say anything about oral sex. This is the dirty mind of the people that heard it, whose minds immediately went to that. The senator claimed he was being an equal opportunist by mocking Biden and Romney as well, and he clarified the Harris joke by saying viewers could figure out how she got traction into politics by doing their own research. He was referring to unsubstantiated rumors that Harris had advanced her career by dating influential men who could help her rather than by her own accomplishments. Well, first of all, this is not an unsubstantiated rumor. Kamala Harris dated Willie Brown, who at the time was the mayor of San Francisco, and he was a married man. And she went to events with him in public. In fact, even events where she sat down at a table with Nancy Pelosi. And Willie Brown appointed her to her first state-level job that she had. So and this, by the way, I'm reading from Fox News Channel, this story. So Fox News says he was referencing unsubstantiated rumors. That's not, it's various, everyone knows that she was Willie Brown's girlfriend. So that is not a rumor. That is a fact. Well-established fact. And people forget Willie Brown. Back when he was mayor of San Francisco, this was like during the Clinton era of politics. He was one of the 5 or 10 most powerful people in the National Democrat Party, certainly in the top 10, maybe top 5, and was probably, I believe he was the most influential black elected official. Even though he was just mayor of San Francisco, he was the most influential black official elected government-wise nationwide in the Democrat Party. So that's not an unsubstantiated rumor. That's a verified fact, Fox News. The House Minority Leader, a Democrat in Oklahoma, said his remarks are despicable. This is not the attitude or feeling of the vast majority of people at the state capitol. Every single female in the Capitol has a story to tell, including myself, she said. Really? I'd like to hear her stories. Was she a homewrecker too, like Kamala? We have these accusations made about us all the time, and it's unfortunate. This is not something that is partisan. This is something that women of leadership positions struggle with, no matter if it's politics or not. There's always some reason women are successful aside from their own merit. She dated Willie Brown, who was married. She was his mistress, and he appointed her to her first state-level position. So that's not rumor. I'm sorry if it's true. Now, that may have been the only time something like that happened, but it happened then. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. Actually, less than 1 to go because we're past the top of the hour break. It's 8:02. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll-free, 1-888 GO-KANE1. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonials of my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old, so my wife's like, "Why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top?"
Show me some love. $5 super chat. Thank you. Trump will be the best president ever again. No doubt about it. And, you know, my wife has, whoops. What happened to my glasses? My wife, and there's a link in the description here. My wife has put together a new store with all kinds of new Trump T-shirt designs. You got to check it out. They're really good and clever. She's come up with some real winners. Our old store got taken down offline after the Capitol breach, so we had to start over with new designs. There's a link in the description, and they're really cool.
Well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now at Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free. That's 1-888-GO-KANE.
All right, third and final hour has begun, 7 minutes after 8. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Now, many of you may know Steve Kane's house is going through a massive renovation. He's getting a whole new roof, and almost half of the drywall in his home is being replaced by Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting because it's filled with black mold. You know, here we are just weeks away from hurricane season, and the rains have already started. I'm seeing it. And, you know, if you have a little wet spot on your ceiling, you want to call Tom Laporta. He will do a free inspection of your roof, and you may just need a repair. if you catch it early. If you ignore it like Steve did, oh man, Steve, little leak here, little drip there, all over the place, drip, drip, drip. He needs a whole new roof, and 40% or so of his drywall inside of his home is filled with that deadly black mold that's being replaced. Avoid all that. Call Tom Laporta, have him do an inspection. Also, you may just need a repair. That's right. Also, talk to him about impact windows. I have impact windows. During a hurricane, impact windows, is just a lifesaver. It really is, literally. And I'll tell you that my 2 experiences with impact windows. The first hurricane that I went through, where we actually got hit head on with just standard hurricane shutters, it's awful. You can't see out. All the windows are closed. You can't see out of your house. It's darkness. And if you've not experienced a hurricane, it's not fun. People ask, what's it like? It sounds like a freight train is coming by your house for hours and hours and hours. Like you're right there in front of the freight train, right by your window, wherever you are. It's loud. It's not fun. And it's scary when you can't see out. You're in the dark. You don't know when it's over. You can't open the door. With impact windows, you can see out. And it makes the hurricanes a lot easier and safer. What happened with me a couple years back, I can't remember which hurricane this was. I talked about it at the time. Some of you may remember what the name of the hurricane was. But a couple years back, we had a really bad hurricane hit. I had 2 50-foot tall ficus trees in my backyard. Both were taken down by the hurricane. Fell on 2 of my neighbors' houses, who were plenty pissed. Oh my goodness, they were plenty pissed. Didn't fall on my house. But I'll tell you, we were watching through the back door, because I have impact windows on the back of my house, and we saw that the tree was going to be pulled out of the ground. It was being pulled up right out of the ground by the winds, and you can't tell where it's going to fall. And it was right on my back door where my kitchen is. And Hurricane Irma, someone just texted me. Okay, it was Hurricane Irma. And what I did, because I saw that the tree was going to fall, is we moved to the other side of the house. And we didn't let anyone go into the kitchen area or dining room area, because if the tree fell on the house, it was going to fall on the kitchen or the dining room, and whoever was there would be dead. So we moved to the other side of the house. Now, luckily, it fell on the neighbors' back porches. Didn't fall on their houses, fell on their pool enclosures, on a neighbor behind me and the neighbor next to me. Didn't hit their homes. But if I didn't have the impact windows, we wouldn't have known to stay clear of the kitchen and dining room area. We would have had no idea what was going on with those trees. And if they would have hit the house because of the impact windows, it wouldn't have been fun, but we would have all been on the other side of the house and been safe. The only reason we were able to be safe is because we had impact windows. So call Tom Laporta, have him do a roof inspection, and talk to him about impact windows so you can see out during the hurricane. Online, LaportaContracting.com, and here's his number that rings directly to his cell phone in his pocket, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602. I just was reading an article during the break from National Public Radio's website. And it says, this is National Public Radio, first-time gun buyers help push record U.S. gun sales amid string of mass shootings. Let me read this article. And they have a picture here of people lined up around the corner at a gun store to buy guns. First-time gun owners, young and old from across the country, are helping to push record levels of gun sales for what looks like the second year in a row. My gun store has been run like I've never seen before, said Todd Cotta, owner of King's Gun Center in Hanford, California, in the state's agriculturally rich Central Valley. It was just an avalanche of new gun buyers for the first time. These buyers are white, black, Asian, and Latino, and come from all political beliefs. And they're being driven by uncertainty, fear, and a need to feel safe. Gun sellers across the country said the pandemic and civil unrest over the last year has pushed customers to feel they must take control of their family's protection. Okay, now I'm a gun owner. I just bought a new gun for my birthday. I got a Glock 48. And this is the first new gun I've ever owned in my life. Every gun I've had was either handed down to me through my father and grandfather, or I bought used. This was the first new gun I bought, this Glock 48. And I went to shoot it last week with my wife, And man, does that gun shoot well! And I was doing very well on the range too with it. It's a great gun. The Glock 48. It only holds 10 rounds in the clip, which is plenty for me. And I just boom. It's thinner than the regular Glocks because the magazine is smaller. And it's just a great weapon, and it's lighter too because it has less ammo in it. But anyway, the reason we got that gun is because my other home protection weapon. I'm not going to tell you how many guns I have because I have multiple guns, but I'm just talking about two of them. That we have a personal protection .38 revolver that I've had for a long, long time, which I did buy used. But it's a very good gun. I enjoy it, but the trigger's a little heavy for my wife. So I wanted to get something that was a little easier on the wife's finger, so got the Glock 48. And I'm in the process of teaching her how to use the Glock 48. It was very simple to use. But anyway, I went and bought, I just got this gun, I picked it up on my birthday last week, which was Tuesday, bought it the week before, got the waiting period. But when the pandemic first hit last year and we were stocking up for pandemic, toilet paper mainly and food and Lysol and stuff, I went to the gun store and loaded up on ammo, and I'm glad I did because the pandemic did spur a lot of gun buying and ammo buying last year. But gun stores now are just doing business like I've never seen before. In fact, I went to one of the big gun stores. It's the one where I actually went shooting last week to buy my Glock 48 there, and they didn't even have any guns in stock to speak of. They had just a few guns in stock, nothing that I wanted. I was thinking about buying a 1911, which I'm glad I got the Glock 48 instead of the 1911. I still might buy a 1911. 1911 is a little heavy, but anyway, I went. This is one of the biggest gun stores here in South Florida. And they hardly had any guns in there. And I found another gun shop, which is up the street from the radio station. And I got in there just as he had gotten a delivery in. So, he had gotten the delivery in that morning, and I went there right after I got off the air, and I got lucky, and I got it. And all these articles talking about gun sales going through the roof, and they are, is not because of the pandemic. That was true a year ago. The reason gun sales are going through the roof nationwide right now is because of the defund the police movement and these BLM activists around the country. People are scared. That couple in St. Louis where they broke down the gate of their gated community and they came out in front of their mansion. This stuff is scaring people, and people fear. In California, liberal California, and places like this, gun sales with first-time gun owners are through the roof because people now believe, because of this liberal defund the police, that they are going to be responsible for their own personal protection. This is not about the pandemic. That was a year ago. This is about the defund the police movement and these protesters in the street. Let me get back to this. This is this is from National Public Radio's website, npr.org. These first-time gun buyers are white, black, Asian, and Latino, come from all political beliefs. They're being driven by uncertainty, fear, and a need to feel safe. Gun sellers across the country said the pandemic and civil unrest over the last year has pushed customers to feel they must take control of their family's protection. Fears of Congress passing new gun control legislation, some say too. I don't think that's it. I think it's because of the defund the police. What do you guys think, by the way? AAA Cocaine 1. Burbank, California-based Redstone firearms owner Geneva Solomon said both sales at her and her husband's gun store and enrollment in their firearm education classes are way up. Solomon said she and her husband try to calm nerves of first-time buyers in those classes in which they go over fundamental rules of gun ownership. We've definitely seen an uptick in the class options we offer. Before they would never sell out. Now they sell out in 2 days. Federal background check records support retailers' first-hand account of continued record-breaking demand. FBI data show that 6 of the top 10 days for instant background checks, which are required by federal government before a licensed firearm retailer can sell a gun, were last month alone way up. In fact, 1.2 million firearm checks were done last month. In January, more than 4 million background checks were processed, compared to the previous January with just 2.7 million. February, 3.4 million checks reported. That's amazing. 3.4 million in February. February 2020, 2.8 million. And that was up, too, because of the pandemic. Who's buying? A 2020 survey by the National Shooting Sports Foundation, a trade association for gun retailers, ranges of manufacturers that lobbies Congress, said gun shop owners reported 40% of customers were first-time gun buyers from January through April. Okay, now this is the thing, okay? I've owned guns since I was 12. I've grown up around guns. I understand them. I respect them. I'm very safe, very, very safe. But, Democrats, with their defund the police and their anti-gun, gun grab rhetoric, are causing all these first-time gun owners to buy guns. And this is my experience when I go to a gun shop and I see first-time gun owners. They buy the biggest, coolest gun they can find. Sometimes they'll buy a gun they see in the movies. I've shot enough so I know what I like, what I don't like, what I'm comfortable with, what fits good in my hand, what I can aim and hit with the best. I factor all those things in. In fact, my Glock 48, the Glock 48 comes with or without the package to put on a laser scope. I got the one without a laser scope. I'm not going to get some fancy laser scope and all that stuff, going on. But, first-time gun owners are not the safest of gun owners most of the time because, again, they buy the biggest guns, the coolest-looking guns, maybe something they saw in a movie with Dirty Harry, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. And what Democrats do is make us less safe in this society with guns. First, they cause, with their gun control rhetoric, they cause gun sales to go through the roof, like we're talking. So if they're really anti-gun, they'd keep their mouths shut because they're, sometimes I wonder if the gun manufacturers really support the Republicans or the Democrats, because gun manufacturers do their best business when the Democrats are in power, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if the gun manufacturers support and vote Democrat because it's so good for their sales. Okay? So if they're against guns, the Democrats are the biggest sellers of guns. And they make us less safe because you have these first-time gun owners that don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're buying guns that they really... I started small. My first gun was a 410 shotgun, single shot, small, and I worked my way up to the 9mm. I had 22s and things like this. They go right for the 9mm or the 44, They don't start low and get an understanding or with the 22s and work their way... you don't want a 22 for home protection, by the way. It's, That ain't gonna save you if you need to use the weapon in self-defense. At least I'm not gonna put my hands in a 22. That's for sure. But the Democrats are huge gun sellers. I don't know. Do you think they realize it? I'm not sure they realize it or not. And they make us less safe because of these first-time gun owners. They really certainly do. So if you want to get guns off the streets, Democrats, stop talking about them and there'll be fewer people buying them. All right, let's take our break. 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75.
Faith Sykes, $9.99 super chat. Thank you. Mike Lindell's bed topper is the best I have ever tried. Bought mine 6 months ago. I have the best sleep ever. Brian, I enjoy your show here in Mississippi. Well, thank you, Faith. I'll use you in the commercial.
And balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. 23 minutes after 8. I'm Brian. Steve will be back tomorrow. I just got a message from a listener, Faith, and she wrote this. She says, Mike Lindell's bed topper is the best I have ever tried. Bought mine about 6 months ago, and I have the best sleep ever. Brian, I enjoy your show here in Mississippi. Well, thank you. And here I am. 8 days, it's 8 nights, sleeping on the My Pillow mattress topper, and it is absolutely amazing. I'm here to tell you. Every night I wake up in the mornings, I go to sleep on the mattress topper. Every morning I wake up with the alarm. Before the mattress topper, I always woke up before the alarm. No more. I get a full night's rested sleep. I feel better than I felt in years because I'm actually getting well rested. I'm getting a great night's sleep with the My Pillow mattress topper. Mother's Day is May 9th. You still have time to order. My wife and I, we ordered ours on a Wednesday. We had it on the bed Saturday. We're sleeping on it Saturday night. So go to mypillow.com, and you know what? You can have the mattress topper delivered straight to mom, right? If mom's not near you and out of town, have it delivered straight to mom. You can do this, They'll deliver it anywhere. You just put the address in when you order. It doesn't have to come to you. When you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, not only do you save 30% off the mattress topper, which comes in all sizes from twin all the way up to California king. I have a queen, right in the middle there. But you also get 2 free premium My Pillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, KANE. All right, now this will oh, I just got a message here from Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer just sent me a text message. She has an appearance coming up with Michelle Malkin here in South Florida tomorrow. Okay? It's called the Big Tech Press Conference. Laura Loomer and Michelle Malkin will be there, and others, but those are the 2 headliners to me. Laura Loomer and Michelle Malkin tomorrow from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. They call it Trump Corner, which is 10913 North Military Trail in Palm Beach Gardens. And I think it's 10913 North Military Trail, Palm Beach Gardens. I think that's PGA Boulevard and Military Trail. And there'll be some other speakers there, but Laura Loomer and Michelle Malkin. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I'd have to check that out. If I can, I will. But you guys can go there. That's tomorrow, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Now, this, when I first heard this story, I thought it was a joke. And now I've come to realize that it's not a joke and that there's a very real possibility of this being successful. I'm talking about Caitlyn Jenner running for governor of California. I can't say for sure that Caitlyn Jenner is going to be the governor. We had Bruce Jenner on the Steve Kane Show years ago, and it was absolutely amazing. And what had happened, Steve and I were working at another radio station down in Miami, and there were a whole bunch of radio stations in this building, and all the big FM morning shows were broadcasting from the building, and they had Bruce Jenner on talking about some event that he was appearing at in town. He was on one of the big FM shows, and he was in the control room with me, just sitting there waiting for this interview. And I was pretty excited because I grew up with Bruce Jenner, and I was very excited. And it was during the O.J. Simpson civil trial. And this is before anyone heard of Kim Kardashian. We knew who Robert Kardashian was. It was during the O.J. Simpson civil trial was going on, and Steve was taking calls from people on the O.J. Simpson civil trial. And Bruce Jenner, he says, well, I was good friends with Nicole. Can I go on and talk to these callers about O.J. and Nicole? And of course, we said yes, and we had Bruce Jenner in studio taking calls from listeners talking about the O.J. murder. It was amazing. It was amazing. I wish I had it on tape. I do. It happened spontaneously, and it was a long time ago. And he was a super cool guy. I got to tell you, no ego and none of that stuff. But anyway, Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor, and I know people think this is a joke because Caitlyn Jenner is got all this stuff going on, but Bruce Jenner is a lifelong Republican. And there's going to be a lot of people running for governor out there in this recall, and a lot of them are going to be kooks and weirdos. But there are California Republicans. Schwarzenegger was one, and he won. Caitlyn Jenner is the kind of Republican that Californians could elect. And he's more, I can't get past the Bruce Jenner stuff, but Caitlyn Jenner is much more conservative than you think. Obviously somewhat socially liberal, but very economically conservative, Caitlyn Jenner. And there was an incident the other day. Joy Behar did what I just did, was talking about Caitlyn Jenner running for governor on The View and referred to Caitlyn Jenner as him. And then Joy Behar came out and apologized for calling Caitlyn Jenner him, and then Jenner came out and said, we got bigger things to worry about than that. And do you know who the campaign manager is for Caitlyn Jenner? Do you guys know? Brad Parscale, who worked for President Trump. So he's got a real campaign manager. He's very popular in California, and is the kind of Republican that probably has a chance of getting elected out there. And Democrats are so pissed at Governor Newsom. I just hope we don't have too many wannabes and weirdos running on the Republican ticket and split the vote. But I would support Caitlyn Jenner to be governor of California, wouldn't you? At least we'd have a Republican governor. But I think it's a serious run, and people, I think, will be very surprised. The Bruce Caitlyn Jenner stuff, I know can seem a bit strange and very weird from time to time, but when you hear Caitlyn Jenner talk about the issues, it's a much different person than you're normally hearing. I know it's strange. I can't get used to it. I mean, And Bruce Jenner is humongous. He is I remember when we had him on the show, obviously he was an Olympian and all this stuff. His feet were like the biggest feet I've ever seen. The only time I saw someone up close and had a conversation with that big, I met Muhammad Ali once, and he had these massive hands, and that's like how big Bruce Jenner was when I met him. So I can only imagine it'd be a little strange to see Bruce Jenner as Caitlyn in person, because he's such a big guy. But this is don't take this run for governor as a publicity stunt or as a joke. It's very serious. And if you follow the California news, it's a serious candidacy. If you follow the news in California, you'll see Caitlyn Jenner in a serious way commenting on all the issues. All right, listen, we'll take our break 31 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right. We'll take our break and be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Have you gone without insurance through the Affordable Care Act because you thought you couldn't afford it? The times are changing. I have exciting news to share with you from I Will Advisors. With the signing of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, the government has increased the subsidies available to people buying insurance through the marketplace. In fact, even people making over 400% of the federal poverty level can get insurance now and not pay more than 8.5% of their income. There's talk of people currently paying less than $100 per month, and you could possibly pay $0 per month with these new changes. It doesn't cost anything to check, but everyone must take action. The special election period will end, but the sooner you take action, the sooner you can start saving money. Call Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, 954-753-8080. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-8782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
Hey guys, Friendly Tire in Margate, I've been buying my tires there for many, many years, long before they were a sponsor. My mother-in-law went over there last weekend and got new tires for her car, and she saved over $100 per tire. And she priced at all the tire shops around town over $100 per tire. And I know it's a great deal over there. They have, and those were new tires, of course, because, Friendly Tire, Friendly Mike over there, what he quotes you on the tire is the price out the door and on the road. He doesn't charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, dispose of the old tires, none of that business. The price he gives you is the price out the door and on the road. And he has tires for everything. I've seen listeners over there in Porsches, Corvettes, monster trucks. A lot of our listeners with commercial vehicles. If you have commercial vehicles, he can help you with that too. And of course, he has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for most sizes. Give Friendly Tire a call. Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Hey, Jerry.
Book with all the characters from the beginning of time to, I guess, I don't know, there are eight different episodes or whatever.
Wow.
Beautiful, brand new glossy book.
Great.
Way to get it to you.
Oh, you bought it for me. Oh, well, thank you so much.
I think Star Wars, of course, unless it's garbage, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Well, thank you. Well, you'll find a way. You'll find a way to get it to me. And if not, it's the thought that counts, right? So what's on your mind?
No, I just go.
Oh, just that? Just to tell me you bought me a book?
Yeah, well, I don't agree with you about Rush at all, but...
you don't agree with me about what?
About Rush.
What about Rush?
I think the show's very successful. I listened to it.
Without him?
I'll say again.
Without him?
Yeah, well, they play his thoughts on different things. I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, take my son. My son just passed. And
oh, I'm sorry.
Very, very smart man. Very incredibly smart. And he had little things he would send me. Texts and different things and stuff. And I mean, it's like why I wouldn't look at those anymore and get his advice that he gave me about something.
No, but you can't talk radio is about news of the day, and you can't do a show that is current news of the day if it's a rerun from the past. I think what they should do is keep calling it the Rush Limbaugh program, hire a replacement host, and then have kind of like Paul Harvey minutes with Moments of Rush at some point, and it's sponsored during the show, and I think that'd be wonderful. But I just can't get my. I haven't been listening. I haven't listened in weeks, and it's to me it's a shame. But okay, we can disagree. Well, you can figure out a way to get me the book, and that's nice. I appreciate it, Jerry. Take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
My name's Rodney. I'm in Georgia.
Rodney in Georgia. What's up?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I was going to talk to you about marijuana situation.
Okay.
I was in a bad car accident back in 2005. The driver and the passenger was killed. I was in the back seat. They flew me to Grady in Atlanta. I had a broken neck, busted bladder, shattered right arm, broken pelvis. They cut my legs 2 times on each side to relieve the swelling, so I got bilateral foot drop. And I take the legal stuff.
Yeah.
Legal stuff. And I mean, I have to have it, for the pain.
Okay, how long ago was this accident?
July 29th, 2005.
Wow, it's a long time. And the marijuana you get's legal. Like, how do you get your marijuana?
Yeah, well, I had to go to a pain management doctor.
Oh, the pain management, like the ones that used to give out the Oxy. They got America hooked on oxycodone. Oh, that's great. That's a great place to go for medicine, for pain relief. Oh, my goodness.
I take DRONAB.
Well, here's the question. That accident was 16 years ago. And I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know you. Is the pain you have now because of the injury, or is it withdrawal pain if you don't do your drugs?
No, it is from the injury.
Well, that's different. That's different. Okay. Well, that's different. Okay. No, that's different. If you have a lifelong injury that causes extreme pain, and you have a doctor's prescription for pain relief medication, that's between you and your doctor. The guys I talked to earlier were a couple of Beavis and Butthead stoners. Losers, bums. They didn't have an accident. They're just drug addicts who, just want to smoke because they like to be high. That's different than you. Like oxycodone, if it's taken under doctor's care with prescription, doctors prescribe it every day, that's not the same as, self-medic. The other guys were self-medicating. You've had an injury, you're in extreme pain because of that injury, and you get a prescription from a physician. These guys I was talking about, they're self-medicating. That's a big difference.
I understand, but they flew me they airlifted me to Grady in Atlanta, and I stayed there for about 5 months.
That building is a carbon copy of this building. There's 3 buildings just like it in a row. I'm the center building. I'm the main building.
To learn how to walk again.
Well, that's good. Well, good for you, Have you tried anything else to get off the weed, though? I mean, there's nothing else they can do to get... Don't they want to get you off of that drug?
Well, the Marinol, and I take Marinol and hydrocodone.
Oh my goodness! So you're really drugged up. I mean, you're totally doped up.
Need it,
Yeah, but how often is that? How many times a day is that?
Probably 2 to 3. Just depends on how much I do.
Yeah, but do you see the difference? Okay, but you heard the callers earlier. There's a difference between your situation and the last guy that called, for example. He works at a grocery store pushing carts around, he says. He collects the carts from the parking lot. He's 25. He smokes before work and after work. He didn't have any injuries. You had a severe injury. You're in pain for many, many years because of an injury, and you're under doctor's care. That's different. The other guys that called in earlier are just guys that want to get high. They've had no injuries. They've had no accident. and they're not under the care of a physician like you are. Totally different. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm not giving you a hard time. I was giving them a hard time. Now, if they called in and told me they had injuries like you, and they're under doctor's care, and a doctor has prescribed it, I'm not going to question their doctor with them. But that's not what the deal was with those guys. You heard the calls, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Don't you see the difference?
I do. I understand, you know. I'm going to tell you something. You don't believe in miracles, man, brother, you're talking to one. You know, I was on life support.
I'm glad you're doing well. I mean, you've survived. You're doing well. You have sounds like you have some quality of life.
Two friends, it was in the front seat. We was going to work, and they was killed.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
They didn't tell me right off when I woke up from the induced coma, the medically induced coma.
Yeah.
They told me before I went to Warren Springs, I said, if you tell him now that them boys are dead, because if anything happens, it's going to happen while he's here at Grace.
Oh, my goodness. Are you capable of driving now, or are you really disabled where you can't even drive? Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Really? Isn't it hard to drive now that you were in such a incident?
Well, the only problem I have is I back in a trailer, you know, because my right arm is fused straight. I can't bend my elbow at all.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous operations, you know, but
yeah,
my feet and stuff.
Well, listen, I got to run, but you know your situation is completely different. The other two guys they both called me in other time zones early in the morning. They were calling me at like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, their time. Both of them high as kites, no injuries. One doesn't work. The other one has a menial job, and the only time he's not smoking marijuana is when he's at work. You know, and he only is working so he has enough money to buy it. Totally different than your situation. But I appreciate your call and glad you're doing so well. See, this is why we don't talk about marijuana on this program, because it's scary. So many people use it. And when you start talking about it, all you get are people that use marijuana telling you how great it is, right? And most of them will tell you it's not addictive, but they obsess over it. But that last guy is totally different than Beavis and Butthead that called up earlier in the program. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. When we get back, it'll be time for the Golden Report. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this.
Think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them to say it.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Be right back, guys.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great My Pillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the My Pillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the My Pillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress. My old mattress was getting old, so my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got great price. Got it home, I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper.
Hey there.
And receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, we are back, and it's that time for the Gold Report with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca Raton. William Youngerman, good morning. How are the metals looking today?
Looking good, Steve. Brian, after an attempt to get through the $1,800 failed on gold last week, but we did get up to about $1,800 or $1,797 on Friday. Then closing down $6.70. 1777.20. Excuse my cold. Silver was down 14 cents on Friday, closing out the week at $25.97. While platinum was up $28 on Friday, closing out at $12.26. And palladium closed up $14 at $27.64. This morning we got gold trading in a range so far between $17.68 and $17.84. Right now we're down $1.20 at $17.76. Silver's up 8 cents at $26.05 the ounce. Platinum is up $4 at $1,230, and palladium is up $27 at $2,751. That's pretty much where we're starting.
Yeah, and you know, Mother's Day is right around the corner, May 9th, I believe. And if you guys out there are looking for some beautiful jewelry for your wife for Mother's Day, William Youngerman, you have a great collection of estate jewelry over there that would be perfect for Mother's Day, don't you?
Indeed, and at basically metal prices, very good values.
Oh, yeah, and I've talked to so many listeners over the years that have bought jewelry over there, and keep in mind, he's in Boca, so that estate jewelry, those are from some good estates, okay? So, listen, if you've got a question on that estate jewelry, if you can't stop in, give William Youngerman a call. They open up weekdays at 10, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, located in Boca, just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. The address 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building there. And the address online is williamyoungerman.com. All right, feel better, William Youngerman, and have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, now, all this talk of white privilege, does white privilege exist today in our society? Because every incident I hear about seems as if blacks are empowered over white people. Right? It seems to me what's going on here, and this is in the Daily Mail. And I'd like to hear what you think about this at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. We still have time for some calls. A white food bank worker has been fired from her job after footage appeared to show her telling her black neighbor she is not the right color. The woman, who was seen wearing a Hillary name badge, like Hillary Clinton, is heard shouting during the incident in Colonial Heights, Virginia. "Watch me handle this," she yells. "You're not the right color, honey." The confrontation is not part of the woman's work at the food bank. It's been a simmering issue because their children don't get along, according to Lakita Good, the black woman. Okay, so these two fight all the time because their kids are having problems, apparently, at home. In the footage taken Thursday, the white woman later replied, "Yes, you are," when asked if neighbors considered her an N-word. And she says, "Yes, you are. I mean, you are the N-word." She said the word, though. The clip was shared to Facebook on Friday. It starts with the Chesterfield food bank worker, who has not been identified, standing on the sidewalk while mom of two, Lakita, stands on her porch. A second video confirms the police were called over the incident. It's unclear if any investigation is ongoing. The food bank became aware one of its workers had been involved in the incident, and she has since been fired. Okay. I don't go around using the N-word, okay? But this woman, who, by the way, wasn't arrested, she was involved in a verbal argument with Lakita here. The woman that used the N-word hasn't been identified. She was filmed by someone. I don't know if it was Lakita or not. It went online, got some attention, and it cost her job. Where's the white privilege? Lindsey Graham is under fire because he said systematic racism doesn't exist. Systematic means it's in the system of our society. He says systematic racism doesn't exist. The election of Barack Obama and Kamala Harris show that it's not. I'm not approving of people going around using the N-word and things like this. However, it's America. You have freedom of speech to a certain extent. If she would have called someone the word while she was at work at the food bank, which I'm sure does not pay a lot of money, that'd be a different thing, okay? She was involved in an argument with a neighbor, a simmering feud that had been going on for a while. She got caught on tape at home. Should she lose her job over that? Would you cause someone to lose their job because they said something you didn't like in their private time in a heated argument? When people get in heated arguments, they say things, oh my goodness. You ever been in an argument with someone? You don't know what's coming out of your mouth half the time, do you? No, I've been there. Not like this, but I've been there. I've said things that I instantly have regretted when I get in arguments. Should this woman have been fired for something she said in her private life at home in a heated argument? And I'm very curious about how this recording happened. This idea of people recording everybody these days, I don't know how many of you have had this happen. I've had people put phones in my face and try to trigger me into saying things. And when someone is recording you, they weaponize it. And I just have a suspicion that they say this is an ongoing feud that's been going on for some time with the two ladies. I just have a suspicion that it's not an accident or a coincidence that all of this was caught on video footage that is good enough for you to hear the audio of. So what I'm wondering is, was she kind of set up by her neighbor, to get her to say something on camera to cause her some pain? Regardless of all of this, what I'm here to tell you is, every incident I hear is black people having power over whites, costing them their job. There was a guy the other day who lost his job with a county commission job because he didn't call a woman doctor, and she's black and she's a PhD, and they fired him because he's racist. He wouldn't call her doctor. Every incident I hear is blacks having power over whites, not the other way around. So is there systematic racism? I don't think so. Is there really white privilege in our society? It seems, if anything, there's black privilege in most of these instances going on. If Lakita here would have called her some slur with white in it, would she lose her job? Probably not. Oh, look who we have on the line, Richard Pearl, whose show comes up next. Richard Pearl on politics follows the Steve Kane Show every day on this radio station. Hey, Richard Pearl, how was your weekend? Oh.
I heard you talking earlier about people having control over other people.
Yes.
That's what happens in society. Those who've been, pushed down or believe that have been pushed down, they feel they have a right to attack somebody else. They're not looking for equality. They're looking for vengeance. And we have to be careful as a society that those who've been oppressed, not necessarily themselves, but family members before them, they use that as an excuse to things. And the majority of people don't go for that, but the people communists because they actually don't contribute to society. They take away from society. They always leech onto someone else. Look at Bernie Sanders and look at Joe Biden. They never had a real job. Others,
but neither of them have had real jobs, but they're both multimillionaires working for government. That's amazing. You would almost think that they're corrupt public officials profiting off of their offices somehow illegally. Yeah.
But I want to touch on something else.
Oh. Well, listen, Richard. We are almost out of time, so we got to be quick. So his radio show, Richard Pearl on Politics, follows the Steve Kane Show immediately on this radio station, and his store, Simply Natural, is in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip, on the east side of University. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. And the number 954-741-4045. Don't touch that radio dial. Richard Pearl on Politics, just seconds away on this radio station and on iHeartRadio as well. All right, Richard Pearl, have a great show. I'll be tuned in, and we'll talk tomorrow. All right, take care. We're out of time. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
All right, guys. Hey, listen. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And everyone, like the video before you go, or subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll see you later. I got somewhere I got to be, so I got to take off. But take care. Thanks